Welcome back to Double Dose. I'm your host, Dipesh.
And I'm your host, Daniel.
And we're here to take him from Earth to the particle horizon.
Ooh, I want to know what that is. So I'm going to look it up later. How are you, man?
I'm good. How are you?
We're back in the seat.
We're back in business. The boys are back in town. We were off for a week. Oh, 2 weeks, really.
Yeah. But you didn't know we secretly knew.
Yeah, we does it. Yeah, we hit around that. And I hope you guys had a chance to watch our best bits that we released last Monday, which was a great little filler that Daniel put together. Mm-hmm. Before we start, just wherever you are, if you're in the car, if you're at work, if you're lying on your bed, if you're playing with your dog, just put your hands together for our host Daniel, who just got married.
Thank you, guys.
Let's. Hey.
I'm at the awards ceremony.
Yeah, dude. Here's your prize.
Thank you. No, thank you. I'm ball and chain now, you know.
Yeah, but it's happy ball and chain. So it's all good.
Happy ball and chain.
So that's why Daniel's been on his honeymoon. So we had a little bit of a break. We, funnily enough, both went on holidays around the same time.
It's the same place.
Same place. We didn't even plan that. So, you know, a bit of double dose action for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's good. Good little break.
Yeah.
That was your honeymoon.
I thought it was very relaxing, very chill. Mm-hmm. And yeah, I loved it. I wish I could be there the whole time. I wish I never had to go back to work or back to the real world.
Don't we all? It was
great.
great.
Things must come to an end.
Yes. Oh, yeah. And for those of you that don't know, which is obviously most of you, we went to Tasmania, which is lovely. Lovely this time of year.
It's like if Sydney was in, not recession, but like Sydney had like a de-aged 20, 30 years.
And when I say we went to Tasmania, I didn't get married to Daniel, so just want to clear that up.
That's what he thinks.
Yeah. That's what I wanted.
That's what he wanted.
It should have been me.
It should have been me. Like, I object.
So nobody asked that. I still object.
What about that time?
Do you remember, Daniel? We started a podcast together.
Yeah.
You were my everything.
Yeah, cool.
Oh, man. Well, you want to start us off?
I do. I came across this interesting story actually just like yesterday, and I wanted to mention it to you, and because I've always dreamed about this.
Okay.
And I thought, how would I react if this happened to me? And I wanted to get your opinion of what you think as well. But I came across this story and these stats of so the concept is what happens if you win the lottery? You know, say you win $100 million. What happens? The realistic kind of thing. Everyone's like, oh, life would be so easy. Life would be the best. You know, all my worries go away. And in reality, from what I heard from this story, it is maybe one of the worst things to happen to you.
Winning the lottery.
Winning the lottery is actually one of the worst things that could ever happen to you.
I have heard of people being miserable because I guess they are people maybe that aren't good with their money when they win the lottery.
Yep.
But I mean, for me, and I think everyone's had that daydream about what would I do if I win the lottery?
Yeah, that's something I thought about quite a bit.
Yeah.
My grandma would always say, oh, wouldn't it be good to just win the lotto?
I think we got brought up with that generation where a lot of scratchies and lotto were being bought.
Yeah, and even now, it's like, what do you get someone for the gift? Scratchy.
Yeah, it's an easy gift. And I mean, yeah, I still get that daydream here and there. Some people think it's pointless. Why are you spending your money on that?
Yeah.
But you got to be in it to win it, as they say.
Be in it to win it, which is the biggest like boomer word ever.
Yeah. But I mean, look, I think it would change my life for the positive because I think I'm pretty smart with my money. But
let's find out.
Enlighten me.
This is the story. So it's a little bit long. I'm gonna try and get through all of it. I'll skip it if it's too long.
That's all right.
But there was so many juicy details that I didn't really want to cut anything out.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay?
No,
So
I'm keen to.
let's go for
Let
it.
me know.
So the write-up, I saw it on Reddit, and the write-up was really well done. So I'll just it was a copy-paste of the write-up.
The creepypasta.
Yeah, the creepypasta of it. So it was just a big write-up of like from this guy's perspective. It was, congratulations, you just won millions of dollars in the lottery. That's great. Now you're fucked. No, really, you are fucked. If you just want to skip the biographical tales and woes of some of the math tax protagonists, skip on down to the next comment and see what to do in the event of a lottery. And if you were to win, what should you actually do? That's not covered in this one. Maybe we'll save it for another one. But this is the implications. Let's see. So you see, it's something of an open secret. The winners of obnoxiously large jackpots tend to end up with badly alarming regularity. Not the $1 million winners, but anyone in the 9-figure range. That is high risk. 8 figures, pretty likely to be screwed. 7 figures, yet painful. Perhaps this is the consequences of the sample. The demographic of lottery players might be exactly the wrong people who win large sums of money in the first place. Right. So that's why he's saying, like, people who are in the lotto anyway, who are like give their cash every week. It's like those are the type of mentality people that it's bad to win anyway.
Right.
So large jackpot winners face double-digit multiples of probability versus the general population to be victims of homicide. It's like 20 times more likely you're going to be killed when you win the lotto.
Because people know of your riches, or you have a lifestyle that puts you in a higher risk of getting...
Everything combined.
You're right.
So I'll go into all the details, which is great. Drug overdose goes up double digits multiples of this happening to you and you dying.
So interesting, thinking that you wouldn't need drugs if you could have the most fun lifestyle.
But you know what? As I said before, I think, is that in Sims, when you get all the cheats, you get bored real quick because you're not grinding to anything. You're not working purposefully. It's like you just cheat coded and you hit the big time. And so if you are on the rush of maybe a year of all the amazing things you can think of, what do you do after that?
This kind of ties into our discussion with the fetishes. And it's like you've done all the sex stuff that you like.
What do you do after?
Keep pushing it now.
You've got to keep pushing.
Yeah.
Bankruptcy is number 3 on the list. So losing it all.
Idiots.
Kidnapping. Then after that, and triple-digit multiples of probability versus the general population rate to be convicted of drunk driving. The victim of homicide at the hands of a family member, 120 times more likely.
120 times more likely to be
killed by a family member.
What the fuck happens to this? It's scary,
it's
dude.
Scary
That's
how
so
corrupted
scary.
You get. A defendant in a civil lawsuit and a defendant in family criminal proceedings. So believe it or not, your biggest enemy is if you suddenly become possessed of large sum of money, is you. At least you'll have to have the consolation of meeting your fate by your own hand. But if you can't manage it on your own, don't worry. There are a number of willing participants ready to help you start your vicious downward spiral for you. Mind you, many of these people will be friends in quotation marks, friendly neighbors in quotation marks, and family in quotation marks. Often, you won't even have evil intentions, but I'm sure you know that makes little difference in the end. Most aren't evil. Most aren't malicious. Some are. None are good for you. Jack Whittaker and Johnny Cash are tired. West Virginia native is the poster boy for the dangers of a lump sum award. In 2002, Mr. Whittaker, 55 years old at the time, won what was also at the time the largest single award in US history, jackpot of $315 million.
Holy shit, dude.
At that time, he planned to live as nothing had changed, or so he said. He was remarkably modest and decent before the jackpot, and his ship sure came in, right? Wrong. Mr. Whittaker became the subject of number of personal challenges, escalating into tragedies, complicated by a large number of legal troubles. Whittaker wasn't a typical lottery winner either. His net worth at the time of the winnings was in excess of $15 million already.
He already had that. All right, so he's already living pretty comfy.
So you think he'd be like the person that would understand what to do with his money, right? He's already got large sums of money.
Right.
It's not like he's a bum and then goes to stardom and it's like, I blew it all.
Mm-mm.
Owing to his ownership of a successful contracting firm, in West Virginia, he claimed to want to live as if nothing had changed, actually seeming plausible. He should have been well equipped for wealth. He was already quite wealthy after all. By all accounts, he was somewhat modest, low profile, generous, and good-natured. He should have coasted into the sunset. Yeah, not exactly. Whittaker took the all-cash option for the lotto. You can choose if you want to have it paid out annually for like 30 years, or what do you want? Do you want all the money at once?
In the bank? Or
how do you want
it?
Or
drip fed. Right.
Exactly. He took the all-cash option and $170 million instead of the annuity option, and took possession of $114 million in cash after the $56 million in taxes. Because in America, you're taxed on winnings. Here, you're not.
That's such a big tax.
So it's about 50% gets taken away.
Oh, man.
Can you imagine being like, $300 million you won, and the government's like, hey, bro, just so you know, $150 million of that is mine.
I know it's
How
very
crazy is that?
I know it's very sad to like say because you're still ridiculously rich, but at the same time, it's like, don't give me that number if you're not going to give it to me.
That's what I mean. But in Australia, that doesn't happen. We're not taxed on winnings here.
Yeah.
So if I won $100 million in the lotto, I get $100 million.
Yeah, nice.
But that constitutes then as earnings. So then it's like you have to decide what you want to do with that money.
Right.
So that's why a lot of people take the drip feed because you get taxed less.
Right. Makes sense.
I would probably take the drip feed too.
Yeah.
I think going stupid.
And at the same time, I don't think you can spend that much.
Yeah, that's just asking for disaster.
Yeah.
Whittaker quickly became the subject of a number of financial stalkers who would regularly hide out at his breakfast location and offer suggestions on how to spend the money. They were unemployed. No, an interview tomorrow morning wasn't good enough. They needed cash now. Perhaps they should be surefire business planners. Their daughter had cancer. Their niece had dialysis. They needed... Needless to say, Whittaker stopped going to breakfast at this place. Eventually, they began ringing his doorbell, sometimes in the early morning before he was... Before long, he was paying off-duty deputies to protect his family.
Oh, dude.
He was accused of being heartless, cold, stingy. Letters poured in, children with cancer, diabetes, MS, you name it. He hired people to sort the mail, a detective to filter out false claims, and con men were retained. Brenda, the clerk who sold the guy the ticket, was a victim of collateral damage. Whittaker had written her a check of $44,000 and bought her house, but by no means a millionaire. Rumors that the state routinely paid the clerk who sold the ticket 10% of the jackpot winnings hounded her. She was followed home, threatened, and assaulted because she sold him the ticket.
Because someone was like, why does he get that money? So you're at fault for letting that
Whatever
happen.
the case, or just that, hey, I heard you got payout. Give me some of that cash.
Oh my God, dude.
How
People
crazy.
are fucking crazy.
Whittaker's car was twice broken into, and by trusted acquaintances who watched him leave large amounts of cash in there. One time, $500,000. The other time, $200,000.
Who leaves that in a car?
Don't know, man.
Well, very
This guy's
careless.
life would
Too
have
much
been
money.
That's right. The thieves spiked Whittaker's drinks with prescription drugs in the first incident. The second incident, that was handiwork of his granddaughter's friend. Stole $200,000.
Oh my God, dude.
Even Whittaker, good faith generosity was questioned when he offered $10,000 to improve the city's water park so that there was handicap accessible. Locals complained that he spent money at a strip club. Whittaker invested quite a bit into his own business, tripled the number of people in his business employed, and eventually had given away $14 million to charity through the foundation he set up on purpose. This, of course, what you're supposed to do, set up a foundation, be careful about your charity giving. It made no difference in the end. To top it all off, Whittaker was accused of ruining a number of marriages. His money made other men look inferior, they said. Whenever he went to a small West Virginia town he called home, resentment grew and festered. Whittaker paid forced settlement related to a sort of claims. Yes, you had it right, 4. His family and immediate circle were quickly the victims of odds-defying number of overdoses, emergency room visits, and even fatalities. His granddaughter, 18 years old, after giving her a 2,100 week allowance, was found dead after having been missing for several weeks. Her death apparently from a drug overdose, but Whittaker suspected foul play. Her body was wrapped in a tarp and hidden under a rusted out van in the woods.
Wow.
It's just non-stop. Her 17-year-old boyfriend had expired 3 months earlier in Whittaker's vacation house, also from an overdose. Some of his friends had robbed the house after his overdose, stepping over the body and making their escape, and then to return for more before stepping over the body again to leave. His parents sued for wrong death, claiming that Whittaker's loose purse strings contributed to the son's death. Amazingly, juries are prone to award damages in cases such as these. Whittaker settled again. He had to settle outside of court and pay these people off. Even before the deaths, the local and state police had taken a special interest in Whittaker after his newfound fame. He was arrested for minor and less minor offences many times after his winnings, despite having near a spotless record before the award.
So crazy. It's just like, give me your money, but you're in trouble if I fuck up with the money.
Yeah. So it's just like
There's
everyone
no
is just like vultures completely, just like losing their shit.
Savage.
In 18 months, Whittaker had been cited for over 250 violations ranging from broken taillights on every one of his new cars to improper display of renewal stickers. A lawsuit charging various police organizations with harassment went nowhere, and Whittaker was hit with court costs instead. The city sued him for $1.5 million over bounced checks, which are caused by an asset freezing.
So he wasn't notified that some assets got froze?
Yeah, and then he was sued by the state.
Oh my God.
$1.5 million. So it's just like money leaving your account left, right, and center. Today, Whittaker is badly in debt and bankruptcy looms large in his future. But hey, that's just one example. Wrong. Nearly 1/3 of multi-million-dollar jackpot winners eventually declare bankruptcy, and some end up worse. Just to give you a taste of the possibilities, consider the fates of, and it's just got a big list of people who have all lost their cash in big winnings.
That's terrible. Do you think that this comes about when you, I'm not saying advertise, but you let too many people in on the fact that you've hit a big?
Yeah. So apparently in the next comment, I skimmed through that one and had a look. And pretty much it's, you need to hire an attorney to go collect your cash for you, because otherwise your face is all over the news.
Is it?
Yeah, pretty much. Like
in Australia as well? I thought you can, when you win, you can choose to remain anonymous.
You can, but then it's like the risk of someone following you and seeing who you are. But there's people, the stalkers, that just like camp the lotto places and be like, okay, I think that person's going to win. Now it's like buddy up with them, bump into them randomly at a shop and then, oh, what are you doing here? You know, and then find out they won the lotto and that's it. Your life's over.
Well, do you think that would be changed now that there's a lot of apps for the lotto and stuff? Or in Australia,
I don't know.
You can do the tickets online. So if you win, you get a call and it's just, you're at home.
I don't know. Apparently, that's not the case. Apparently, you are stupid to even use your same phone number.
Because even someone that works within the system will be like, it could tell their friend, be like,
exactly.
This is the person that won.
Yeah, your friend knows.
Yeah. Wow, that's so scary.
So scary.
So there's even if you keep it close to your chest, you
the best
really
thing
don't
to
have
do
control
is like
of
go through a team of lawyers and get it all anonymously donated. Do not tell your family. Do not tell your friends. Just live a bit like normal, and then or disappear. Go to another country.
It sounds like you have to pretty much drop what you're doing, and I mean, you could take your closest with you and start fresh somewhere else.
That's pretty much it.
Yeah.
And they said even that, it's like giving cash to your nearest and dearest. It's like grandkids die because of overdosing to drugs.
I mean, I feel like it's when you give cash, other than like, I don't know, mum and dad or something, you almost need to get them to sign a waiver being like, this is money for you. These are the reasons I want you to have the money, and you have to sign this that I'm not liable for whatever you do with the money. You know, even if it's family.
It sounds like, dude, that... Well, I think in the instance, it's like the pool of people that they're picking from, the people who enter the lotto anyway are maybe like lower socioeconomic people because they're like struggling to get rich.
Yeah.
So they're desperate for it,
Right.
or it attracts that type of people. But as you can see, it's like people camp out your coffee place, start ringing your door.
Dude.
And, you know, you're getting piles of mail being like, donate to this, give us your money, you stingy bastard. It's like...
That's so crazy. And like also those people that have the energy to do all that, why aren't they bugging Bezos and stuff? You can put just as much effort into people that are popularly rich.
Yeah, because it's more like you're tangibly more in my realm of being able to contact you.
I can get to you.
I can get to you because you were just a Joe Schmo the other day.
Man, that's why you go several houses, several properties, big compounds with fucking security.
Looks like he was hiring security 24/7, but they're still spiking his drinks in the night and stealing from his car.
That's so crazy.
And then it's like even the state is going, well, you know, we're gonna get money off you because like you're an easy target. It's like 250 violations in a month. What is it, a month?
With the traffic light, the tail lights smashed out and stuff like that.
So they
things
just
like
smash
that.
out his tail
and they know
lights
they
and be
can
like,
get away.
Yeah.
And he'll just settle because it's easier.
Yeah.
Oh my God, dude.
What a nightmare.
It's scary.
This is just one instance.
Has that scared you a bit from...
I thought so. And I thought, man, that's just the case. But they had a detailed list of like If you win, here's how to avoid all that crazy
That's
shit.
cool.
Pretty much, it's like change your phone number. You might have to change your name. That's how crazy.
Because I have thought, like, who do you tell? You know, how do you?
From that, and from my instance of like what happens with family, I found even just small thing, what's happened in my personal experience, I wouldn't tell my family.
Not even mum and dad.
Nope. Wow. It just all would become too catty.
But you're gonna get a question. Your mum's gonna be like, "How are you affording?"
I would just say I did some good investments and earned a pretty good amount of money. But if I say, well, I won 100 million, I would just go, I won a little. Like I wouldn't tell them I won. I'd just be like, I took some great business investments. And it's paid out okay.
You know what we say? The podcast made it big.
Yeah, something like that.
It's money from podcast.
Totally. But I would never say I won the lotto.
Yeah, it sounds like you got to keep it close to your chest, and it's scary because in my head, when you do the daydreaming, you're thinking of who do I tell and who do I not tell, but then it turns out that you can not tell anyone, and someone that stakes you out will just spill the beans, and then word gets out quick.
That's it, and then you're in the newspaper before you know, paparazzi, all that shit, and so I just think in my head, you really can't tell anyone that you won. And you have to just live like a pretty normal life. A lot of people in the other thing said the worst possible thing that happened to them. They have quotes from people who have won saying, the worst thing in my life that ever happened to me was winning the lotto.
Jeez.
Can you imagine if that's like the worst thing that's ever happened to you?
I hope that's from the people that aren't good with money, and it's not this scenario most of the time.
Yeah.
This scenario is scary. That is very, very scary.
Yeah.
I can imagine, people that aren't very good with money that hit it big time, they never knew how the value of a dollar or how to, spread that thing.
I think that's why they were saying, is this like a bad pool to kind of pick from? Because, there are plenty of rich people that don't lose all their cash, but,
right.
It's like slow and steady maybe, and then it builds up and then but, celebrities do crazy things all the time. It's just, what do you hear? So, does it give you perspective maybe in terms of saying you would maybe be more secretive if you won? Because what was your initial reaction before I told you any of this? Was it, I win, I tell my mum and dad we're going to live such a relaxed life and I'm going to take care of you? Yeah, that's what I kind of thought.
It was me essentially being like, straight, like first things first, mum and dad, stop what you're doing. Enjoy yourselves now. You do what you want for the rest of your life. Everything's expenses paid from now on. But then I take care of myself.
Yeah, that's what I think I would have done at first too. Like give everyone in my family like a large portion of money.
Oh, but I sit them down, and you do not tell anyone about what I'm about to tell you.
Can you really trust that they would never tell anyone?
Yeah. Oh, you hope so.
Surely you've got complications in your family where it's like this person told this person told this person. Surely maybe your uncles or your dad's brother or whatever it is, you're someone in the family, cousins get spiteful.
Dad wants to just brag a little bit. A little bit of
I'm
money
taken
now.
care of. It's like, where? Where, how?
Don't tell anyone this, but my son won
he
$1
won some
billion.
money. He won some money.
Let's just say Basil saying shit right now.
Exactly. So that's my concern. It's like you really can't trust anyone. And from what I understood, it's like if you want to give someone money, you can't just hand over the cash. You need to put it into a long-term kind of what's it called?
Fund.
Things where a trust fund. You put it into a long-term trust fund that grows money for itself anyway, and it drip feeds to the family.
Yeah.
You can't just hand the cash over because people go crazy and go into drugs.
That's right. They can't control themselves.
Yeah. Overdose, whether it's overdose because they, go loony because they're like party central right now, or someone spikes their drink.
Man, imagine
or
that.
like, you get a new boyfriend who's like, you got cash, fucking hit you over the head, and you don't know.
Yeah.
You're putting your family at risk.
That is so true because, you can. I mean, you feel like you can trust your family, but then you can't trust the people that aren't close, like spouses of family that tell their friends.
That's right.
And then that's it. Done.
And then you don't know who your parents are talking to, and you don't know who your friends are talking to. So it's like someone of someone. It's a small world out there, man.
Very small, yeah.
So
yeah, I feel like it's like you can't tell anyone.
It's crazy, and maybe I'll talk about it next time. But it tells you exactly what to do, how to get around these problems, and it was pretty insane.
I'm gonna read up on that after the episode.
Yeah,
because I don't want to. I hope I win the lotto.
I hope I win too.
That'd be lovely. We'll be coming to you with daily episodes.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
for sure. It's like bam, 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 bam. Also, I'm on drugs now.
Yeah.
Bam, bam, bam.
Daniel, I'll tell you.
All right. I'm feeling good.
Too much energy.
Too much energy.
Welcome back.
Hit
dude,
me with what you got, son.
I got a little story to tell you.
For sure.
And it's something that happened in Tasmania.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yep.
Yeah, so it's a very fresh story as well. So we were in Tasmania last week, and our first stop was Queenstown, which was a small town next to Strawn, which is, I guess, also a kind of smallish town. And if I'm getting that wrong for those local Tasmanians, I'm sorry. So this Queenstown, we kind of arrived there pretty late, and there really isn't much happening in this town. It's very small, and the main strip was shut like at 6:30. We couldn't even do dinner.
Okay.
We luckily found one pub that was had some lights on. I thought we were just going to see locals there, but we saw some young people walk in. I'm like, sweet, something to do. While we're sitting down having our schnitty, we overheard some of the girls at this table talking like, oh yeah, I've done like 2 acting jobs and stuff like that. And I'm like, oh, okay, maybe they're doing something. They're traveling for acting, whatever. A little bit of a rewind. 2 days before we flew out, we watched Thor. Mm-hmm. And this is a non-spoiler thing, but there's actor in Thor that's in the beginning, and who's in a lot of makeup. They're dressed as an alien, and I remember watching it with my partner, and I was telling her, I'm like, I know this guy, I know this actor, I've seen him in something, and I was trying to be like, I thought it was the main dude in the 70s show. Was his name Topher Grace?
Topher Grace, yeah.
I thought it was him. I'm like, I recognize the eyes. He was in pretty heavy makeup. We look it up, and it's the actor who plays the son in The Castle, if you remember the movie The Castle, that classic Aussie movie. Stephen Curry.
It's Stephen Curry?
Stephen Curry.
Really?
Is it him? Not the dad, the son.
Yeah, I'm trying to find who plays his son.
Yeah, Stephen Curry.
Oh, yep.
Yeah, so we found out.
He's got that Topher Grace look.
He does. It's in the eyes, I think.
Yeah, it's the sunken eyes.
So it's a sunken eyes. So I recognized him, and we looked him up on IMDb, and I'm like, oh wow, that was him. I haven't seen him in anything since The Castle. So that was 2 days before
I was thinking
Tasmania.
the other Stephen Curry. I'm like, what?
Oh right, yeah, I know
he's dead.
Yeah. He just died recently, didn't he?
Yeah.
So we saw him 2 days before in Thor, and we're just eating, and I just look over, and Stephen Curry just walks into this pub.
You are kidding right now.
I'm not joking. He sits down, and I look at my partner. I'm like, is that? And she's like, yeah. I'm like, what?
Are you sure it was him?
100%. Because, well, what made me lock it in even more was the group of girls talking about their acting jobs. So when he sat down, and all the people at this table did not look like they knew each other. The way they were talking to each other was like pleasant conversations for when you're with work people that you don't know too well.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. And so I think they were all actors. And of all people to see,
this place in Tasmania.
Okay. I haven't seen this actor since I watched The Castle, which I've watched a few times. I noticed him in full alien makeup in a movie I watched 2 days before, and I saw him in a small town in Queenstown, Tasmania, just in a local pub that it was, dude, no one would go to this pub. You wouldn't just drive past and be like, this place is popping off. It's an old building. The decor is like from the 1800s, and he's just chilling with these people. I'm like, what is happening?
Whoa, dude. That is mind-blowing.
I couldn't believe it. And
that's some simulation shit.
It was very scary. I had to write it down straight away. I was freaking out, and my partner was talking to me the rest of the night, and I just kept running that over in my head how I just saw him walk in and sit down, and I was just like, I recognized the face, and then it clicked that I had just talked about him 2 days before in the movie, and he wasn't even a prominent role. Like it's just he had a role, but it wasn't like a something in the film.
That's really amazing.
Very niche. Very niche.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Holy crap. So you didn't say anything though?
I didn't say anything. He's with a group of people.
Yeah,
and,
you kind of also you probably get it enough.
Yeah. And but I was just like, what's happening in Queenstown? Maybe they're filming something, but
maybe he lives there.
Maybe. I couldn't believe that, man. That was very scary.
Born in Melbourne. Whoa.
Yeah.
What a trip out.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen anyone famous. Maybe the Wiggle. I saw Murray. Not Murray. People. I saw who's the Blue Wiggle?
Anthony.
I saw him once.
I've seen the Red Wiggle Murray like 3 times in the wild.
Oh, I know. I went. I was in a cast member, not a cast member. I was in the audience on The Voice, and I saw a Seal and Delta. And,
Right.
Delta was. She's pretty damn good looking in
Yeah.
person. If you see them on TV
Yeah.
and they're good looking, they are insane in real life.
It's that it factor.
It's just
They got
so
it.
much more because camera shows everything. So if you're like semi good looking, you're on TV, you're super average.
Yeah.
So on TV, on real, you're like, wow, you are stunning.
Yeah, right.
She was, but whoa, man. So
Yeah.
what a trip out.
It was very strange.
Were you
very
just
surreal.
constantly thinking about it after?
I had to keep, I didn't want to be a creep, but I had to keep looking over and being like, what is
Hold
this
up the phone.
actually happening? Because I had to look at my partner and her face was lit up already. And I was like, is that? And she's like, yeah. And I'm like, we didn't have to say it. We were just like, oh, I need another beer.
Man,
Yeah.
what a trip out.
Yeah. So that was interesting.
Yeah, no, that is such a cool story. I wish that I wish I could have been there just to see your face.
Yeah, it was. I just remember having to have another beer and sit and just digest that. And I mean, this is the first day of the trip, and I'm like, we're off to a great start. It's gonna be a good holiday.
Yeah, cool. Did you see anyone else famous?
We didn't see anyone else
Yeah,
famous.
okay.
I didn't see too much wildlife. I was hoping to see some wombats. We saw some peacocks. And
Yeah.
a lot of roadkill.
Yeah, you see tons of
wasn't-
roadkill.
I didn't know it was that crazy. I mean, in New South Wales, you see your fair share if you go on like a 3-hour drive, which is like, I don't know, maybe 2 or 3 dead animals, maybe kangaroos.
This is like you're seeing them every couple of minutes.
Every like 5 minutes, it is something new. I saw probably more of the Tasmania's wildlife dead than alive.
Yeah, same.
Which is
That's
crazy.
a bit shame. I saw about 50 dead wallabies.
Yeah,
And I hit one.
all sorts.
I told you this.
Yeah, you told me, yeah.
One went straight under the wheel.
That is, I was, and after you told me that, I was very wary, but luckily we were driving throughout the day, so I didn't worry too much. I knew if it was dusk, then, I had to have your wits about you.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Did you just remember, go straight?
Yeah. Daniel's partner was just giving me knowledge about if you do see something on the
Wife
road,
now?
don't. Oh yes, wife. Yes. It's
I
got the
almost
ring.
forgot.
Let's do a little close up on that ring right there. Bing! Get a little shine on that.
That's an MIB flash.
Yeah. Yeah. She was letting me know if you do see something on the road while you're driving, don't swerve. You'll probably end up doing yourself some more damage. So just go, boom, keep it straight.
Yep. So that's what I saw too. Mine was at night. So I saw it quickly
Scary, dude.
run in front of the car and I went straight and I said, we're about to hit something. And then the wife goes, what? And looks up and I'm like, doo-doom. She goes, was that it? It barely felt it. It just felt like it turned into mush.
I would have been, because in my head, something that, even if it's a wallaby, something that big puts me off course. I'm like, it's like I hit a speed bump at like 80 to 100 kilometers. I'm bouncing and then I'm like holding onto this car, trying to overcorrect it. But as you said, it's just straight over.
Just got to go straight over.
It didn't really affect the
Not
the
at
car.
all. Went over the back wheel. But
I guess that's lucky,
it
yeah.
ran like
Yeah.
under the car as I was driving. So it went over
Oh,
the
wow.
middle
Okay.
and the back right wheel just nailed.
It was trying to do the Fast and Furious thing where they try and steal
Yes,
the hi-fi equipment. So we took the Honda and it went in between the wheel arches, wasn't quick enough, and got
the
taken out.
S2K that flew under the truck.
got taken
That's what
out.
I tried to do, and it got destroyed. And I went whoop, and I didn't even flinch. And I went, oh well, it's over. I hope I killed it though, real quick.
Yeah,
It was
you
like a
you don't want it to be
painless
suffering.
Yeah.
But wow, I might have seen it.
death. Yeah, maybe.
I might have seen it.
But yeah, wow, what a story. And I did notice though the amount of wildlife was huge around there though, but just because I think there's so much less city.
I talked to someone and they were saying that there's not a lot of fencing compared to mainland, so that could be it. Yeah, with our main roads, there's a lot of fencing.
Yeah,
and their stuff is just walking and hopping all over the place.
Yeah, I'm sure if you went out here to like Orange and start going in the middle of nowhere, you'd see a lot more.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, but there's a lot of dense bush.
I think there's a lot more places to hide for animals in Tasmania, where New South Wales is very open.
Yeah.
When you go to bush, it's just flat.
Yeah. It's just like complete desert when there's this kind of lush forest everywhere. Yeah.
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 I have a personal story as well, but it's from back in the day.
Oh, let me know, man.
So it's just a very simple story, but back in the day, we loved Pokemon. I'm sure you did
loved
too.
Pokemon, yep.
This is
Played
like
Pokemon
first gen
cards?
days when it first came on TV. It was like
Yeah.
mind blowing. I think this was like 1999 when I first started getting into it.
Getting the cards and everything.
Getting the cards and, figuring out what it does and what it was. And, mum trying to get me Pokemon cards from the shop and going to the junk shop and being like, Pokemon cards. And they clearly got the knockoffs.
With the purple hue on the back?
No. It
wasn't
didn't
blue?
even look anything like a normal Pokemon card. It was just clearly like as if you said to someone, design a Pokemon card and they just went for it.
Right.
And it was not anywhere near the replica and it looked completely different. And I said to mum, no, these aren't it. What are you doing?
Yeah, dude, I remember going like local markets and you saw the knockoffs and they had like, instead of the blue border on the back, it was like kind of purpley and it was shiny.
Yeah.
And you're like, these aren't real.
Yeah, you can tell. But, and they've got Pokemon that don't even exist or
Yeah,
whatever
yeah.
it is. But I asked mum to get them for me and I was like, finally, you got it. Like after maybe 5 tries, she got us. These aren't the ones.
They're a little pricey. They're definitely a
that's the
treat to
thing.
get a
I think
deck.
she was going to the junk shop and just getting the $2 ones.
Right.
It's like, that's what I'm going to get.
Yeah.
Anyway, I went to my grandma, who I call Baka because I'm Croatian. And so Baka, she goes, is any, like, she wanted to spoil me for some occasion. I think it was my birthday. She's like, what can I get you? I'm like, I would love
Shiny
if you
Charizard.
could get a Charizard for me.
Damn.
And she goes, what? Like she couldn't even pronounce a word. This is thick Croatian Baka who couldn't barely speak English half the time or really understand. And she's like, Charizard.
How do I ask? Yeah.
She's like, that's what I say. I'm like, yes. So I wrote it down as clear as I could. I'm like, just show this to the woman and say that.
Yep.
Because I didn't know how the trading game kind of worked. I think I was 7 or 8. So I didn't really know how it worked. So I go, she goes, okay, I get it for you. The next time we go, months later, to back to my grandma's house, back up they lived in Central Coast. Went there, and I forgot that I asked her to do it,
Right.
and she came back with the. You know how the Pokemon cards used to have either a Pikachu or a Venusaur, a Venusaur or a Blastoise on the opening of the little shrink wrap packet.
The little foil ones?
The foil packet.
Yeah,
it had a Pokemon on the outer side, right, to show you it was a Pokemon card.
Right.
I'll try and pull it up.
Yeah, let me see, because it's been a long time for me. And I think around that time, the only Pokemon cards I got were from friends, and my mum bought me one deck, which was like, but it was in like a box, and it came with like the token and like the leaflet of how to play the game and stuff like that, like a starter deck.
Yeah. What the hell's going on? What?
I remember how big the Pokemon movie was when we were young.
Oh man,
Huge.
I cried when Ash died.
Huge.
Pokemon cards.
That was an event.
In packaging.
Let's have a look. See over here, Daniel.
Yeah, like so, it'd come like that. It was obviously the old,
yep.
like this. It had these on the front. There, it looked like that. So the little foil packets had the the main OG3 types.
Yeah.
On the outside.
Third evolution. Massive image
or a
of it.
Pikachu, or it had a Pikachu.
Right.
It was that 3 or a Pikachu.
Yeah, I remember those. Yeah.
So I go up to my grandma and she's got this one, so the
course.
Charizard,
Yep.
and I was just like, oh, thank you. Like in my mind, I was like, what? Like, I am just so thankful that you got me what I asked, and whatever cards are in here, I don't care.
Right.
I open it up, and the first fucking card is a real first edition holographic Charizard inside.
Holy crap.
The real thing.
Yeah.
By fluke.
Wow.
I looked at her and I go,
You don't know what you've done.
dude, I literally remember the image of what I did. I literally leapt off the couch like, oh my God, it's fucking it.
You were the Nintendo 64 kid.
I turned Nintendo 64. Dude, I lost my shit.
Yeah,
I like
can
jumped on her
imagine.
and she was like, is this the right
did
one?
good. She would have been so happy, dude.
She was so happy.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God. Dude, I told all my friends, I said,
Yeah.
I got a real Charizard. They go, no, you didn't. I go, yes, I did. Man, I got the real deal. I remember putting it under a big stack of books to keep it like real flat.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I had like 20 encyclopedias stacked up, and it was like crisp as.
You know what?
and I
This
was
is
like,
your winning the lottery story.
this is dude, and it was by chance. She just went up to a Kmart supermarket and went Charizard, and they go yeah, and they picked it off the shelf, and it was fucking it.
crap,
the real
man.
one, holographic.
Yeah.
I looked up what they're worth now. What do you think they're worth?
I do know how much one of them is worth, that which is Logan Paul's one.
Yeah.
And it was, I think, a little over $1 million.
Oh, okay.
It's because I think he wore it on him when he stepped into the ring with Floyd Mayweather.
Okay, yeah.
And because of that Charizard is worth over $1 million.
Okay, wow.
Crazy.
I saw one. So this is Gem 10 mint. So it means like untouched by human hands even.
Okay.
Gem 10 mint means no fingerprints on it at all.
Okay.
And it's in perfect mint.
So someone's opened up the packet with like felt
on.
gloves.
Yeah,
and
so
then
they
put in
do
a
that.
case.
They a lot of people now when they're collecting it do that because, you know, people have gone stupid with this crap.
It's gone out of control.
Yeah, and so now they open it with gloves on and they put it right into a case. I didn't have any of that.
I don't understand the whole thing that's been happening over the last couple of years with like someone will be on a live and then they'll just like cut a deck in half. Like what's going on there?
Oh, to just be like, fuck you to the industry.
Right.
Anyway.
But then people are going through the cards live just to see what they got.
Yeah, it's
and
like
just,
opening unboxings and stuff like that. Yeah,
it's
yeah.
interesting.
It's more just like, I cut a real Charizard Gen 7. But this was first edition cards, which are the rarest now.
Yeah.
I had a first edition Charizard, holographic, 120 HP. I remember it. I remember bringing it like super careful in my pocket to school because they were banned.
Right.
And I'd be like, guys, come here.
Everything got banned.
Everyone was like, whoa, looking at it. Maybe 5-6 years after the Pokemon craze.
Oh my God.
I threw it in the bin.
Oh, dude.
I threw it in the bin. I'm like, these are worth nothing because they were at the time.
I know. Yeah.
How can I'm a kid, man. Dad's like, get rid of your shit in your room. I'm like, this is worth nothing. I wish I kept it as memorabilia to myself.
Yeah.
Threw it in the bin. I looked up what one. Mine was not Gem 10 mint because obviously I didn't look after it
But you're a
that
kid. You
much.
played with them.
I played with them.
Yeah.
I would be like winning them in battle.
Yeah.
I'd be like, I beat you because I got this
You'd
card.
be sliding that shit
But
all
I
over the
never got
concrete.
it banned. It always stayed in good condition. I was always keeping it in like the middle of the deck, so it was super crisp.
Yeah.
I looked up what they go now on eBay, and one went for $311,000 US.
Oh my God, dude.
I had it.
I'll have you know, I still have my Pokemon cards.
Oh,
And I have some holographic ones. I got a like a
first gen?
I think so.
Were they kept in good sleeves or anything?
They're not in good condition. You know, like, even the holographic stuff's peeling off. But it's cool to see. I got a Ninetales. I got a Vaporeon. I got a Blastoise.
They're probably worth something.
They've seen better days, you know.
Okay, wow.
Because these have been used. But I kept them because I'm like, these are shinies. And they're OG. I'll bring them around next
The
time.
Blastoise would be worth a lot.
Maybe. I don't know.
Depends on the condition.
They have not seen the light of day in a long time, and they've been just kept with a fat rubber band around them.
Yeah.
And that, you know, all the edges are frayed and stuff.
Yeah.
I kept them because I'm like, you know what? I'm a hoarder, and I'm also very nostalgic. I kept all that shit.
Yeah. I wish I did because I think even in the condition that it was, which was good, I didn't use it a lot and I kept it away. I still think it'd be worth a decent amount of cash.
I cashed in on that time where everyone would stop giving a shit about him. I'd go to my friend's house, and every time I went to his house, he just had them around the house. Like they'd just be in the garden or behind the couch. I'm like,
Can I have this?
Can I have this? He's like, yeah, dude. And I was just like, just collecting them over time.
I should have done that.
And I got myself a fat collection at home.
Nice. Well, anyway, I thought that was such a crazy fluke that my grandma just picked out a Charizard.
Yeah,
It was
dude.
the fucking thing.
Oh wow, what a story to tell. And you know what? That is a story you can tell to your kids. That's fucking sick because that's legendary.
It was a legendary card.
Did you have any photos of it? Of you and your card?
I don't know. I don't think I ever wasted the film on it. Because by the time we had digital cameras, it was gone.
Yeah.
I was real young. I didn't know they'd be worth
You wouldn't
anything
have
later.
known. No, man, we played with our toys.
Who can tell?
No.
You would never know in 20 years of future thinking that when I was the 10-year-old me would have a $300,000 card in their hand. Also, back then, none of this shit was kind of becoming nostalgic. Like now, with COVID, everything's gone stupid.
Big time.
Everything is worth something now. Even
My
the
uncle,
dumbest crap.
When the yo-yo craze was up, when we were in primary school, my uncle gave me 2 Coca-Cola branded yo-yos, and he was like, "Yeah, these are pretty good yo-yos. Little did I know they're collectors.
Yeah, the collector.
I played with that shit until it broke. I would be slamming it and it would be spinning on the ground and it was just like all chipped and shit. And it cracked.
On the concrete? Yeah, walk the dog. Woo.
Yeah, I did all that. I played with it until it broke. And then in hindsight, you're like, oh man, I should have kept it.
Yeah, the old Coca-Cola ones.
You just play with your toys.
You're a kid. You're not thinking about this dumb crap. And
I like that I had it though.
Knew that it was going to do this?
I like that I had it.
Yeah.
It's cool. It's a good memory to have. Wow.
Yeah, good times.
That was your lottery story. And I hope it
I
happens
did
again.
win the lotto and I fucking threw it in the bin.
That would have been a good
didn't go
little
to
investment.
my head though. That's all right.
I like that you're telling everyone.
All of a sudden I'm the mob boss
Yeah,
at the
yeah.
school. It's like he's got the Charizard. I'm like in a throne. Like
Someone's spiking your juice popper,
I was happy that no one rolled me.
breaking
for
the
it at
reflector
school.
on your bicycle.
No one like jumped me for it or tried to snatch it because I was very scared bringing it to school.
I was
thought maybe someone snatch it from your hand and just run off with it. But I'd be like,
I did the same stupid shit, man. I was always trying to impress like older kids, and when Tarzas were popping off,
Yeah,
I luckily
Tarzas.
have two older sisters who had already had a bit of a Tarzo collection, so I was able to inherit that and have that in primary school. And I was in like year 1 or 2, and I had a few thins, and thins were the shit. And I remember giving them to my friend's older brother because he's like, "Let me use them in a battle, and I'll bring them back to you." And he lost them, and I was like so devastated. I'm like, I should never let him had it, and I had this really sick. Never again, dude. I had this sick Space Jam Tarzo holder of the green alien, and it was a canister where you store your Tarzos in, and he'd sit on the top as a lid. And I remember I gave it to my next door neighbor growing up, and I thought about that for years. I'm like, I should have never given that away. I'm like, that's such a thing I would kept. And like 10 years later, I remember I thought of it. I looked up on eBay. I found one in the box for like $10. I bought it.
oh, okay. I
Yeah.
thought you were going to be like, it's worth a mint.
Nah, it would have been cool. But I'm holding on to that thing.
It's in the box.
It's in the box.
Mint.
It's in. I don't know if it's mint, but it's in the box, and
Right.
it's the same alien. So even though it's not the one I grew up with, I like that it's back in my hands.
Oh, I think that's really cool that you're able to go buy that because you know what? Another 20 years could be worth huge.
It could be, and Space Jam 2. I should probably check. Let's have a look right now.
Yeah, go.
Let's have a look. You keep the people busy while I go on eBay.
All right.
Let's see.
I'll try.
Space Jam.
Doopity-doopity-doopity-doo-doo-doo.
Hello, my baby. Hello.
Hello, my ragtime summertime gal.
Okay. Oh no, dude. Michael Jordan's head on the Tarzo canister is $18.
Oh, they're worth nothing.
Yeah, I don't think they're worth
A
anything.
Tarzo's worth a bit?
I mean, it doesn't look like it.
I have some holographic
some
in the
in the-
drawer.
in the box
In the
of-
drawer just there.
Yeah.
I have some holographic Pokemon that evolve as these little holographic cards that you can rotate when you and they like evolve. I'll try and pull one out right
Yeah,
now.
bring it out. We had a lot of cool collecting stuff when we were younger, didn't we?
Yeah, Tarzos were a thing that I had.
Oh, dude, complete box of 1996 Space Jam tournament tubes. $300 Australian.
Not bad.
But that's for all 4, apparently. I thought there was way more than that. That's pretty cool. Man, we had a lot of stuff. For those of you 90s kids, do you remember like the Dragon Ball Z Tarzos that came out? And you'd assemble like a little spinner, and then you'd get like gold versions of like Gohan or something, and you'd assemble it. They'd come in a packet, and you'd assemble it, and then you'd spin it and battle people. I guess it came around the Beyblade phase, which was nuts, man. Beyblades got crazy, hey.
Yeah.
Beyblades was nuts. I remember everything that came out pretty much just got banned at our school. I remember I think some kid was standing behind another kid as he let it rip, and he cut his eye. We're standing behind him, and the ripcord hit the kid's eye, and it was like, oh, that's the end of that. Yo-yos banned. Even just playing cards banned. So that's why it led people like me to eat Zenzu beans off a tree. You gotta make do with with your imagination when everything's banned as a kid. What did you guys collect when you're in primary school? And for any of you listeners that are in school right now, is there anything that you're collecting? What's popping off? Daniel's currently looking for some shiny Tarzos, and I think next episode we're gonna have a few things that if we can find our nostalgic things from when we were young, I'll definitely have a few at home. I'll bring them in. We'll do a little unraveling live unboxing of nostalgia. I got some old stuff, dude.
I'll find it for next episode.
We'll get it for next episode. We'll do a little nostalgia trip next episode.
Yeah. Let's do that.
That sounds good.
That's cool. But yeah, I saw a Game Boy in there, but I found it before, but the table's in the way, so
That's all right.
I'll move it. But
next episode.
yeah.
Yeah,
But
sick.
I kept a couple of collectibles, and I'm like, how did I keep that, but not the fucking Charizard?
I know.
Fucking stupid.
I was obsessed with Sonic growing up, so I kept all my Sonic Tarzos. I still have those.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
I threw all my Tarzos away. I had a good collection. All that crap, cool stuff. I had all the red Dragon Balls, orange Dragon Ball Z fluoro Tarzos and stuff.
yes.
I
Yeah.
even had a gold Vegeta one. That
I had
was
a gold
holographic.
Gohan. Yeah.
Yeah, that was cool.
That was a sick. Wait, did they come in JJ's? Did they come in JJ's?
Yeah. Do you know what I had the other day that did not taste normal? Do you remember, Burger Men?
Yeah.
I had. You know how they come back?
Yeah.
Have you tried them?
I have, yeah.
They don't taste the same.
They're definitely different.
So there's this
Yeah.
other type of chip called tubes.
Yeah.
They taste more like Burger Men.
I'd say they taste more like Burger Man. And that's another chip that's come back.
Yeah,
that
brought
was
it
an
back.
OG chip.
Yeah.
I think it came back twice. I remember it come back in high school.
Yeah.
And then went away and then came back again. But Burger Man's definitely changed.
They've messed with the formula.
Yeah. Even Pringles.
Yeah, it's no good. It's that yield. Get that yield out of it.
Yeah.
Get more for less or
Yeah.
more for less cost, and they just ruin the flavor, and then that's it. You
Kids
jump
these
ship.
days don't know what they got.
Kids these days don't know what the Cocoa Pops used to taste like.
No. Those pure shugs.
Pure shugs.
Now they go to Macca's and they get apple
so
slices.
crunchy. The
They were
old
good,
Cocoa
dude.
Pops. They were just
They were
crunch
banging,
central.
dude. They were banging. Oh man, I had Thins the other day. For a I know chip companies are making the chips smaller, the packets smaller, the chips thinner, just to shave off some nanometers of a chip to get more yield. For a company whose whole thing is thin chips, I don't think they should have done that, because I tasted the chip and dude, it melted in my mouth. There was no crunch. It was so thin that it's not a chip anymore. It almost tasted
Thins.
wet. It almost felt wet in my mouth.
I
'cause
like
it was cold.
You mean the chicken thins or something
Just
like that?
like the chip packet thins. Yeah, the packet thins.
I had, which company has kept me on board is Smith's.
Yeah, Smith's was good.
The
Crinkle cut.
the sprinkle cut.
Yep.
They're perfect. They've been the exact same as long as I can remember.
Yeah, they're keeping it strong.
And
Stephen Curry did Smith's ads.
no, he didn't.
He did, dude. I swear. Let me
We've
bring
gone
it.
full circle now.
I swear he did. I remember him on Smith's ads. Let's have a look.
I didn't recognize Stephen Curry, by the way. I didn't know who he was.
There he is, dude, on the Smith's commercial.
Oh, I do know him.
Ladies and gentlemen, we come full circle in one episode from talk. And also, why does he keep
Dude,
popping
is
up
he
in my
going to
life?
walk in the door right now?
Oh, he's doing Uber Eats.
Oh, shit, there he is.
Oh shit, it's Stephen Curry. Oh wow. The Gobbledoc dude, you know?
Yeah.
Why did we always see it growing up, but I never saw any ads to give it any what's the word I'm looking for? Like backing, like there's no lore. We don't know the lore of the Gobbledoc, but he's just there. It's like a Yowie.
Oh, okay.
Like this little guy.
Who is that?
That is the Smith's mascot. He would sometimes be on chip packets. They're sometimes sneaking in on ads when I remember growing up, and I was always like, what is that thing?
This is some Mandela shit right here, because I do
don't
not
remember
remember this guy.
This little guy right here, you'd see him sneaking on a packet sometimes. And sometimes they kept him in the ads, but I think he was a mascot for the franchise, and they must have just slowly phased him out. I think I know why. Look, I mean, we'll bring up a photo for those of you watching.
Yeah.
It's freaky mascot, but
I don't
know what they
recognize him.
I don't know what
It
they
just
did.
looks like the Dark Crystal.
Yeah, it
fucking
does. It
puppet.
does. It's very scary, dude. I don't know who came up with that. I don't know the lore for it, but it was strange growing up because I'd see the Gobbledoc and I would not know the relevance.
Right. It's just like almost round the twist type shit. Where it's like,
Yeah,
I don't know why you're
yeah.
here. You're freaking me out a lot. I don't like this.
We'll get rid of Gobbledoc.
Yeah.
Oh man, I got a little conspiracy theory for you.
Let's go.
We got time?
Take me there.
We
Yeah,
got
we
time?
got time for one more thing.
Okay, let me dive into this one. So this is a bit of a internet mystery.
Sure.
Okay, this is surrounding a person called Padma McCord. So if you type in Padma McCord's name, you'll be confronted with several websites and YouTube videos all about her businesses. She claims to be a president of a large corporation, a real estate agent, even a billionaire. She owns a bunch of domain names which are all related to her name and mainly consist of stock imagery and poorly photoshopped images of herself. And there's just links that lead back to her real estate business, which doesn't look legit at all. And I'll bring up a few examples for you, Daniel. And for those of you watching, we'll bring up some pictures on the screen. But this is like the type of Photoshop we're talking about, like poorly photoshopped images of this woman's face, just amongst stuff. She's just there, heavily photoshopped. I'm bringing up
what was up with her eyes in that last picture?
She's got some obsession with just popping in blue contacts or maybe some blue filters.
No, but the eyeliner, what the hell was that?
Yeah, it's pretty full on. It's
makes her look like she has some eye condition.
There's hundreds of photos all over the internet of this person.
Yeah.
This is her website, her real estate website. As you can see, there's nothing to explain what they do, and there's just stock images just there. And supposedly she has several domain names that she's paying for, and they're all up, and there's YouTube videos and stuff like that. So it's very strange. So
already very sus.
Very sus. So it would make sense if she's doing this to promote her business, but the websites just lead back to nothing, and there's no businesses to promote. So the question is, why put all this money to run these websites that just are shitty pictures of yourself? She even has an IMDb page with her listed as the director for 2 movies that don't even exist. Very bizarre. The YouTube channel, apparently, I haven't actually had a look, but has a bunch of videos that are mainly like a minute long of just some slideshow of stock imagery and pictures of houses and herself. Just shitty slideshow with some generic music. And it sounds very fake. Sounds like a bot created this, but there's apparently some Vimeo videos out there about of her ranting about God and porn whores. And a popular theory as to what's going on is that there was a porn star called Padma McCord who came up in the search results when you typed in her name. So since she didn't want, because of her views, she's gone out of her way to create a bunch of content that's safe for work so that it drowns out this porn association with her name. Mm-hmm. That's one theory. Another theory is that the porn actress herself is Padma McCord and she's attempting to bury her past with all this sort of stuff.
Yep.
And but it doesn't explain why you'd go out of the way to make pointless YouTube videos and stuff like that and an IMDb page. And another very common theory is that the Padma McCord is very mentally ill and has been creating these websites and videos out of some kind of delusion.
Okay. So I'm just trying to see if...
And I'm glad Daniel isn't screen recording right now because it would be very non-safe for work. There's a lot of nudity popping up when you type in her name. But I believe there is a porn video out there from what I've heard. And but if you type in her name, you'll just see a bunch of terribly photoshopped images of this woman's face on just models' bodies, mocked up magazines.
Do they have her real face?
I think that is her real face, but she's heavily edited it. And there's photos of her with these 2 dudes, as you can see. And some people suspect that maybe she's, crying out for help. She's under some
duress.
Yeah, from like some dude, and that's her son apparently. Like there's a lot of these theories, and very sus, very very strange images. Could be just someone that's bored and doesn't really know what's going on.
What a weird kind of way to go about. Well, because I've heard that trying to snuff out anything on Google if your name does come up in a porn search or something. Wouldn't it be easier to just change your name or go by some sort of alias in a business?
Yeah.
Be like, what's her name? Padma. Be like Padma Barn or Padma.
Drop the muck. Just Padma Cord.
Huh?
Drop the muck cord.
Oh, yeah. Padma Cord.
Look at this website. Just Padma Cord Investments, Real Estate Business, Invest in New Homes.
Just so for the audience who are just listening, the website is just Padma McCord Investment, Real Estate, Business, Investor, New Homes.
so generic.
All the pictures look like Windows XP background bliss.
Yes.
Just landscape green with sunset and just green. And that's all that's on the website. You just scroll down, there's 20, 30 pages of just just scenery, like nice scenery to look at, but nothing to do in this is me, this is who I am. It's just very generic, as if a bot said, make a website about something.
Yeah. And you click a link and it'll just take you to another one that's just like Padma called real estate business investor, and it's just the same website, junk imagery. And the thing is,
are we going to see the Lorem Ipsum on there somewhere?
Yeah, right. Like you got to pay money to have these domain names. You got to keep these up and running.
Do you know how cheap they are though?
Are they?
I have one.
Do you?
It cost me $6 a year.
Okay, that's not too bad, I guess. But I mean, why are you putting this up? Padma McCord Enterprise.biz.
But there's multiple websites now. It's just more.
There's heaps of websites.
Just more landscape images. It's just amazing wallpaper stuff.
Heaps of Photoshop images of her. And people have tried to do some deep dives on this stuff, and it's just very odd. There's no real reason to why someone would go to this much effort to put this much content out there.
Yeah.
Especially these YouTube videos, which I'll try and bring up. Hopefully, we can get some.
Do you think she's doing this? Do you think it's her or someone else is trying to do something for her, or it's how long has she been around?
I'm not too sure. I think it's been happening for many years, probably since like mid 2000s, 2010s.
The Photoshop way she shops her face as well is very odd.
Yeah, it's just like
clearly
straight
like
copy and paste.
Copy paste the same exact overdone Photoshop onto random people's faces, and is that on her profile?
This is her profile on YouTube.
It's all landscapes again.
These videos, like, they're around 200 to 600 views per video. They're around 20 seconds long. And I'm going to play one of them for Daniel right now. But as you can see, they're just generic music and just generic words popping up over generic pictures of forests and landscapes. And
this is if you told an AI to make a personality person and then just fill their online presence and content with just the first thing that pops up on when you type image on Google, which is like wallpapers.
And there's heaps of videos, man. There's so many videos.
What the hell is going on?
Who's putting this much effort into 3 years ago? Just new homes, real estate investments, business builders investing. And they're just a slideshow of just homes with just the
AI,
most generic
please
stuff.
generate content on me online where I am a home investor.
Yeah. So what are your thoughts out of those three theories? What do you reckon is the most plausible out of those
She's
three?
filling the content with something, but it looks like it's AI generated content.
You think that she's hiding because of her values, how she's like went on a rant in a video about porn, whores, and God, that you reckon she's trying to hide something? She's trying to
could delete that video though.
Nothing's ever deleted on the
porn
internet.
actress name thing sounds most plausible to me. It's like you're just trying to fill the world with content.
You think that she was the actress herself and she's trying to hide it, or she doesn't like that there's a name of
I think it's one of those two.
Yeah, right.
That she's got her name out there somewhere and someone else has the same name and is a porn star.
Yeah.
Or she did some porn back in her life. Why would you keep the same name? Why would you go into porn with your real name? Or something got leaked that she was... that had her name on it or affiliated with her.
And she's just trying to drown it out.
She's drowning it out.
Or do you think she's delusional, just mentally ill?
That could be the case too.
Because those, and for those of you watching, we'll bring up a few images of the Photoshop.
All the content, it just seems too much.
It's a lot. And for those of you watching, we'll bring up several images of her poorly Photoshopped face, but it's really bad Photoshop, and I don't know why you would go to this much effort to have this many photos of yourself.
It's as if you just got on Paint and slapped the face directly onto another picture and spent no time matching the color whatsoever. So you can clearly tell it's not the face that's stuck on.
And just bumped up the hue and saturation.
Yeah, and the very, very blown out features where, make the eyes really big and cartoonish and doesn't look human at all, looks alien-like.
Yeah, yeah.
They're very weird.
Do you think this is an alien trying to pose as what humans are?
Could be.
And they're like,
this is human presence.
We edit our photos of ourselves and put it online. We do YouTube. We have a business.
Could be just like they got alien eyes and they've just stuck on cartoonish features.
When the people put the makeup on the eyelid, so when they close their eyes look like that, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is that alien hybrid experiment that's coming out in real life.
Oh, the scary dude. The face scares me.
It does. It's freaky.
There's something
not
eerie
human.
about
It's
it.
not human.
There's something very
It looks
eerie.
like there's pain in the eyes.
There's a weird stare that she's just giving.
Yeah. It's like an alien.
For those of you listening,
out.
go do yourselves a favor and search up Padma McCord. Have a little deep dive. If you can find anything, let us know in the comments. If you know anything, if you've heard anything, if you know Padma McCord, let us know.
Yeah.
That would be very interesting.
If you know Padma McCord, call us.
If you've bought a house from Padma
On
McCord.
1-800 double dose 961.
Or call collected.
Calls.
You'll be charged
$37
$5
a minute.
$5 a minute.
$37 a minute. All right, that's it, man. But that's cool. I'm going to look more into that because I want to know for next episode. I'm going deep on that one.
We'll let you know what Daniel says next episode. We'll bring in some nostalgic stuff next episode.
Yeah, we'll bring in some
Sounds like
nostalgic
it?
stuff.
Yeah,
try
sick.
and maybe have a nostalgia trip.
That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah.
I'm all about that nostalgia. We love nostalgia here.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
All right, thank you guys for tuning in to another episode of Double Dose, and we hope you enjoyed our kooky and wacky stories.
Yeah, definitely had a good catch up this time, and we're happy to be back. And I hope you don't forget to like and subscribe, and yeah, we'll see you next time.
Yep, thank you guys. Bye.
See you
Catch
guys.
ya.